Today is Transit Equity Day, and a report by Harvard University back in 2015 showed that access to transit is the greatest indicator of an individual's ability to move up in society. And so we know that we have to focus on transportation as a key to economic mobility. And here in Montgomery County, we know that that is a critical piece of our policy planning because lower income communities are twice as likely to be without a car than other communities here in Montgomery County, which means they're more dependent on public transportation, which is why we have to ensure that everybody in our community has access to good, safe, reliable public transportation. And really proud of the efforts that the council undertook last year, or in this current FY20 budget, by expanding access to public transportation, particularly expanding the Kids Ride Free program, whereby in the first 6 months of that program, allowing kids to take the bus any time that our bus systems operate, we had a 57% increase in youth ridership on Metro Bus, on Ride-On Bus, and a 51% increase on ridership on Metro Bus, which is huge, which shows that when we increase access to transit, people will take it, and that will help make our streets safer and more efficient for everybody in our region. I'd like to turn it over to the chair of the T&E committee for a few comments too.
Thank you, Councilmember Glass. I'm so pleased to chair the committee, especially with these two great allies of affordable housing and transit that I get to work with on the committee every day. Madam Past President, you know, we spent a lot of last year talking about racial equity and social justice, and there's really nothing that brings more racial equity and social justice to Montgomery County than affordable housing and transit. They are two things that level the playing field and bring people together at a time when there's many, many forces increasing inequities, economic and racial and social inequities all across the country. We really count on our affordable housing and our transit to bring people together and level the playing field. That's why we're so glad to present this today, and I'm really grateful to all the advocates we have, because strong, effective advocacy, like raising a child, takes a village, and it's great to have labor unions and environmental groups and civil rights groups all working together for a common cause. That's how you get things done, at least here in Montgomery County. So thanks for your leadership on this.
Thank you, Evan Glass. I really appreciate your taking the initiative to bring this proclamation to us. Having access to transit is about having access to mobility, which opens the door to opportunity, creates dignity, creates independence, allows people to live their best life. And as you said, Councilmember Glass, there are many people who can't afford a car, and as a community, we want to have great public education, great public transportation, great public health, great public institutions. And when we do, then we create an inclusive and equitable community. So that's what this proclamation is all about, as our public transportation network, and it is truly one of our great tools to promote equity.
Just want to recognize some of our partners in this effort, not only here in Montgomery County, but throughout the entire DC region. Jane Lyons with the Coalition for Smarter Growth, Elizabeth Bunn with the Labor Sustainability Network, Julio Murillo with CASA, Kamita Gray with the Brandywine Community in Prince George's County, who took the bus with us. So she's been commuting since 6 o'clock this morning just to get here to Rockville today. So thank you for your dedication and commitment. And also Shruti Bhatnagar with the Montgomery County Sierra Club, who has a few comments.
Good morning, everyone. Oops. On behalf of all of us, we want to thank the Montgomery County Council for recognizing Transit Equity Day. Special thanks to Councilmember Evan Glass for riding the bus with us today, and to our T&E committee council members for supporting this initiative. Transportation is the largest source of climate disruptive pollution in Maryland, impacting most of our vulnerable communities that are also underserved by the existing public transportation system. We are committed to transit equity to ensuring affordable, frequent, reliable, and efficient service for all of our communities. This is a must for economic and environmental justice. Public transit gets people out of cars and helps those who cannot afford cars access to jobs, education, and other critical amenities. We will be celebrating Transit Equity Day today evening at CASA Multicultural Center, Langley Park, starting 6:30 p.m. So all of us would like to invite you to join us to that. There will be a panel of community and experts talking about this issue, and you are all welcome to participate. Thank you so much.
Now we'll read the proclamation. Whereas Montgomery County supports an affordable, reliable, and frequent transit system that connects people in all communities to their homes, schools, work, houses of worship, retail centers, medical facilities, and parks.
And whereas affordable transit is a social justice issue in which our lowest income communities have nearly double the number of carless households than our higher income communities, and
whereas residents deserve neighborhoods that are connected by public transportation, bicycle pathways, and safe streets, and
whereas county officials understand that access to transit is crucial to social mobility and that communities of color experience longer commutes than other residents, which further exacerbates the opportunity gap.
And whereas the Council unanimously passed the Racial Equity and Social Justice Act, removing barriers to opportunity and promoting equity in all policies, and
whereas communities of color, economically disadvantaged people, people with disabilities, and other marginalized populations deserve full access to safe, reliable, and accessible public transit, now therefore be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby recognizes February 4th, 2020 as Transit Equity Day and affirms Montgomery County's commitment to fair transit for all, presented on the 4th day of February, signed by Evan Glass and Sidney Katz, Council President.